Hey everybody, this is Allison with Southland Goldens. I'm here for our week 2 video of our Betty and Jack litter. So we're at week 2. Like I said last week, there's really not a lot to see in my opinion until we really get to that week 4 video. That's when they're usually up walking, starting to play. But there is a change this week. You'll notice that their eyes are open, but still all we do is eat and sleep. I've got them kind of divided by, we got the girls right here keeping a nice little line, and I had the boys in a nice little line, but you know how these boys can be. They can just do whatever they want and get in a big old pile over here. So over here upside down is Miss White. We've got Miss Purple right next to her. Oh, Gray, I was just bragging about y'all. We have Miss Yellow. We have Miss Gray, Miss Green, Mr. Blue, Mr. Red. Let's try to get you guys back together. Mr. Brown. Oh, come on, Mr. Brown. Mr. Orange. And Mr. Black. All right, guys, come on. Let's keep a nice line. So we have the 10 puppies, 5 girls, 5 boys. We are still continuing with the ENS exercises. Like I said, I posted some information about that on the blog. Hopefully you got to read it over. There's been some great benefits of that. It's something we do with every litter. So they will continue with that until day 16. So they're almost through with that. And it's great to see the progress of where they are on day 3 versus where they end with day 16. Big difference. Also, I'm going to post our supply recommendations. So make sure you scroll down on the blog, check it out. I know most of you have had a dog before, and that's great. You know the things that work for you. That's fantastic. We like to just share some information of some little things that we have found along the way that have helped. The most important thing is the food that we feed. The food that we feed can only be ordered online. Cannot find it in a pet store. So highly recommend you go ahead and get that ordered. You should receive an email with a coupon, so you get a little bit of money off that first order. If you didn't receive it, let me know and I will send it to you again. It'll come straight from the company. It's called TLC. We feed the puppy food. And the number one question I get asked is, when do we transition to adult food? So we feed the puppy food all the way until about a year. And then after that, we transition to the adult. Now, if they're growing and they're a big dog, I would recommend cutting the puppy food off around 10 months old. So just have your vet monitor how fast they're growing. We don't want them to grow too fast, but they are going to grow quick. But typically around the 12-month mark. The next thing I get asked a lot is, when should I spay or neuter my dog? So for the males, for neutering the males, not before 12 months. Personally, I think it's better if you can wait till they're closer to that 18-month mark. For the females, they need to have at least 1 heat cycle, which is typically around that 9-month age, and then wait about 3 months after that. If you can let them have 2 heat cycles, that's better. Have that second heat cycle. After they finish the heat cycle, wait 3 months and spay them after that. If you have any questions, let me know. I know that's a little ways down the road. Like I said, we're here for the entire life of this dog. So even if you have a question 12 years from now, pick up the phone, give me a call. I'm happy to answer them. Another thing I want to touch base on is, if you have not already set your pickup date, or are we flying with your puppy to you? Are we driving your puppy to you? Please send me an email. Let's go ahead and get that locked in, because it will be here before we know it. We're at week 2. I mean, it feels like these guys were born yesterday, and we are already 2 weeks in. So that 8-week mark is going to be here before we know it. Picking process, again, starts at 6 weeks old. So we are nowhere near picking process. I know I just said we're really close to 8 weeks old, but we're nowhere near 6 weeks. But the picking process, I say we're nowhere near, is because we've still got a lot of information to share about these pups before it's time to pick. There's not a lot to see right now with their little temperaments. They eat, sleep, repeat. That's it. So we're not going to talk a lot about that. We're going to pick them up. I'm going to talk about who's the biggest. I know you guys all know Mr. Red. Luke, our son, calls him Clifford, big red dog Clifford. So it's comical. He loves to eat, and he is a big boy. But we'll get to him in a second. All my little friends are getting antsy over here. Everybody's moving around. Look at Mr. Brown. You just get comfy, okay? Just, yeah, there you go. Just lay on back. Take your 27th nap for today. I'm jealous. I am. Okay, we're going to go with our ladies first. All right, so our biggest girl is going to be Miss Purple. Miss Purple is currently 2.7 pounds. So we've also started trimming their nails, little pedicures. This is something we will do frequently. Gets them used to being handled, being groomed, and also their mama really appreciates it when we trim their nails. So that's another little fun thing that we are starting. But this is our biggest girl. Our girls are really close in size, not a huge difference in them. So Miss Purple, currently 2.7 pounds. Our next ones, we have a tie at 2.6 pounds is going to be Miss Green at 2.6. Oh, I wanted to show you guys that their eyes are open. I don't know if you can see. They might be asleep, but their eyes are open. Last week they were not open, so big change this week. They typically open around day 10, and they were pretty close to each other as far as all of them opening around the same time. So our vision is still really blurred, but our eyes are open. So this is Miss Green, 2.6. Miss Green's twin at 2.6 is Miss White. You see our pigment. Oh, there you go. Your little eyes are open real good. Pigment is really coming in. Noses are black. Paw pads are black. Oh, and our eyes are going to be shut because we don't stay awake long. No, we don't. This is Miss White at 2.6, who is about to fall sound asleep. Oh. And we're out. Must be nice. Must be nice. All right. Next in size. Oh. You look like Back Dog. Yeah. There we go. Miss Yellow. Miss Yellow is 2.3. So again, these girls, there's not a huge difference. They really, every day they're going back and forth. We're weighing them every day, twice a day, just to make sure everybody's getting enough to eat. And their weights are going back and forth of who's the biggest, who's the smallest. So this is Miss Yellow, 2.3. She's really caught up as far as weight goes. She was a tiny one, but say I stick in there. I hang with the big boys. I don't mind to push Mr. Red out of the way. I do not. All right, so for our smallest girl, who's really not too far behind, is Miss Gray. Miss Gray is 2.2. So our biggest girl, Purple, at 2.7. Our smallest girl, Gray, at 2.2. And she is the smallest of the litter. We don't have any of the boys that are smaller than her. So right now, Miss Gray's our tiny girl. So this is Miss Gray at 2.2 pounds. All right, now for the chunks. Oh, I'm going to have to start working out so that I'll be able to lift this guy when he's 8 weeks old. No doubt. Not as strong as I look. All right, so this is Mr. Red, 3.5 pounds. Pure muscle, right? Mr. Red's our big guy at 3.5. I think he is going to be a super laid back boy. He's so funny. Like I said, Luke calls him Clifford, the big red dog. And that's just because he's just a chunk, and he falls asleep eating and doesn't move, wakes up, starts eating again. Living his best life. It's Mr. Red at 3.5. But honestly, not too far behind him in size is Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue is now 3 pounds. So welcome to the 3 pound club. Yes, that makes 2 of you. Mr. Blue is 3 pounds. I don't think he's going to catch Mr. Red, but he's definitely going to be a good size boy. And this is Mr. Blue, 3 pounds. Next in size, we have Mr. Black. Mr. Black is 2.6 pounds. 2.6, so a big jump with these boys. We got the 3-pound boys, and then we got the 2-pound club boys. So Mr. Black is the biggest in our 2-pound club. He's 2.6. Your eyes, you want to show them your little eyes? Yeah, I'm awake. I'm awake for my record for being awake, I think, is 10 seconds. That's about it. Next, we have, put you guys over here, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown is 2.5, so not far at all. These last 3 boys are really close in size. Mr. Brown right there at 2.5. Sound asleep. And our smallest male, definitely not by much though, is Mr. Orange. Mr. Orange is 2.4. So we got a 2.6, a 2.5, and a 2.4. And a puppy that's sound asleep. Nobody wants to stay up with me? Nobody? But you can see they're starting to try to get up their footing. I'll set Mr. Orange over here so you guys can kind of see how they kind of scoot around. He's going to make sure that he tries to get back to his litter mates. I say that, and you're gonna fall asleep. Come on, I know you can do it. Well, you're going the wrong. There you go. You'll see they look like little wobbly deer. We're trying to get up. Yeah, you got it, big guy. And it will not be long. There you go, just kind of scooting around. It will not be long before these puppies are up walking, and then overnight they are running. So they're doing really good. Betty's doing really good, keeping them well fed, keeping them clean, all the things that she's supposed to do. She's a really good mom. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Again, make sure you scroll down, check out those supply recommendations. Don't feel like you have to get it all. I'm really big on crate training for the potty training purpose. Once we have a dog that we can trust is not going to chew up anything, they're out of the teething phase. And once we have a dog that is potty trained, then I say bye-bye crate. I don't think it's necessary unless you need to put them somewhere that you know they're safe. If you have to run out for a little bit and they're not quite at that age that you can trust them not to get into something they're not supposed to. So that's why you'll see the crate on there. I do recommend the bigger crate because if not, you're going to be buying a crate every week because they grow so quick. But check out that supply recommendation. There's going to be links for things you can order. Oops. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you guys back here next week for our week 3 video.